Allahu. El Shaddai, Lehenu, Mulea, Botenu, Abiyama, Yizkat, Rabbi Yaakov. Takwados, which Shemeka Kwados, Baruch Shemeka Lolam Wae. With Shaman B'nai Israel, Shabbat La So, Shabbat Le Dolo Tam Olam. B'nai B'nai Israel, Otilola. Kisha Shekim Masa El Shaddai Wa Shamayim. With Ta'aris Ubayom Mashbi, Shabbat B'nafash. Baruch Shemeka, Baruch Yemeneka, Baruch Tuateka, Baruch Kudushateka. El Shaddai Rolek, El Shaddai Malak, El Shaddai Yimlok, Lolam Wae. Baruch Shem Kabo Makum Tolo Lam Wahe. Baruch Kabo Lohim Kumon Melech Elyon. Haluhu Lolam Wahe. First of all, I'd like to give all honor and praise to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the great, mighty, revered God, the Most High God, who bestows loving kindness, possesses all things, who remembers the pious deeds of the patriarchs, the Most High, slow of anger, great in kindness, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, but who by no means clear the guilty, visiting iniquities of fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. The Most High, his work is perfect, for all his ways of justice, a God of faithfulness and without iniquity, just and right is he. You may be seated. Giving due respect and honor to a head in Israel, my father, Chief Eleazar, to the chiefmen, princes, mother in Israel, brothers and sisters, I say unto the tongue of my forefathers, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
God gave us laws concerning our neighbor. I said, God gave us laws concerning your neighbor. And what made me say this today? What made me name the title, The Laws Are Concerning Your Neighbor? Because I went inside to bake some bread, some unleavened bread, right? And when I went inside to bake some unleavened bread, Chief Abraham asked me, what about the people? I said, you know what? I said, forget the people. They shouldn't bring their own bread. You know what that is? A selfish mindset. You can't serve God. But I had to check myself with that type of mindset. I said, no, I can't think like that. I got to always consider my neighbor, regardless of the situation. I cannot continue and think I'm going to do God's law being selfish, only thinking about yourself. Oh, no, well, this is just for me, and then this one. No, this is just for this one. No. My brother asked me, what about the people? I said, forget the people. Immediately, wisdom came to me. He said, don't say that. He said, don't say that. That's a selfish mindset. A person with a selfish mindset can't serve God. I said, Abraham, you see that? I said, Abraham, you see that? That quick. The adversary is right there to detour you away from God. And guess what? By me having that selfish mindset would cause my soul to sin and transgress before God. But we don't think that. I don't think so. We don't think so. Why did those thoughts come to my mind? But guess what? Those thoughts only come to a determined mind. A person that's determined to do laws and the commandments and statutes of God. I said that mindset would only come to the mindset of a person that has made his mind up. Look at where my mind went. And immediately I had to check myself. This is when we need to take heed to ourselves in every way, circumspect to self in every manner, in the things that we do and say. I had to check myself, man. Let's go to Proverbs 11. Let's go to Proverbs 11. That's called the spirit of discipline. I said that's called the spirit of discipline. Now I would have to check myself. If the spirit of discipline didn't correct me, that means I'm full of deceit. I said that means you're full of deceit. Why didn't the spirit of discipline correct me and tell me that those thoughts that I had in my head was contrary to God, was forward thoughts? Now you see why we are so far away from God, because our thoughts is forward and it's contrary to the mindset of God. And we refuse to check ourselves. It's never enough. I said, it's never enough. Like my father used to say, he said, I ain't doing enough. He said, I ain't doing enough. And he always was looking to do more. He didn't get satisfied with just what he was doing, but and that's it. He always looked deeper to find something else. Look for something else to do. We can't be stagnated with God. Let's read Proverbs 11.
A false balance is abomination to the Lord.
I said a false balance, a deceitful balance, a balance that is fraud. I said a false balance is what?
Is abomination to the Lord.
It's detested in the eyes of God. God hated it. A deceitful balance, a false balance. He said God hates these things. Which means in all aspects of life, we must be just and upright before God first. Then after I'm just and upright with God first, then I could be just with you. Then I could be upright with you. But we can't be upright with each other if we ain't upright with God. And to be upright with God, we got to be truthful with ourselves, able to detect your faults. Detect your faults and correct it. Or when someone else detect your faults, accept the rebuke and the chastisement.
That's it right there. That's it right there.
But you get angry when somebody says something to you. You get tight when somebody says something to you. Because you're a scorner. And scorners can't attain wisdom. They're not going to attain it. You think you're getting wisdom. You think you're wise. But God is leading you astray with the bridle. Let's read.
But a just weight is his delight.
I said a just weight. You know what's the word for just? Huh? The word for just is shalom or shalem. It means just. It means whole. It means to be complete. Sound. Which one of us in here think we could put our foot in Joshua and Caleb's shoes? I can't. Out of all the people that went up and spied the land, God said only these two, because they wholly followed God. And that should be a message to each and every one of us. When you make your mind up to serve God,
Holy.
we have to follow God complete.
Holy.
Whole, which means when you're following God whole and complete, you are taking heed to your actions. You are taking heed to your words. You are taking heed to your ways. And if you're taking heed to your words, your action and your words, your actions and your ways, you're going to watch what you say. You're going to watch what you do. And you're going to watch if you be careful of how you offend God.
That's holy. That's holy. That's covering all aspects.
You got to cover all surroundings.
That's covering all aspects.
You got to cover all surroundings.
You're talking.
Huh? So if you're covering all surroundings, watch your mouth.
Talk to me.
Don't say things indirectly.
Talk to me.
Blow steam that way, but the steam was really meant for you. You know what that is? We're going to get into that. Proverbs shows you your ways.
Talk to me.
I said Proverbs show you your ways. Blow it in the air, but I didn't say it to you, but you meant it for him.
Talk to me.
You said it so that person could catch it.
Talk to me.
All these things, man. All these things here, man, God hate. Our forefathers was doing law, man.
You gotta check your ways.
I said our forefathers was doing law. But guess what? God still told them to change your ways. You know what that is? You know what that is? You got to change that. The laws didn't change their ways. They was doing law, but their ways was filthy. Zedekiah was warned by the prophet. And the prophet went to Zedekiah and said, hey, all you got to do is this one thing. Release your brother from bondage.
Yeah.
And I will turn Babylon back. Zedekiah released him. When the prophet left, he went and seized the servants and brought them back into subjection.
Everybody grabbed it.
These was their own brothers.
Say it again.
The prophet came back. He said, hey, he said, you see, you can't even accomplish this. He said, guess what? Babylon coming.
He's on his way right now.
He's on his way right now. And at that point in time, there was no fixing it. Sometimes we delve too far into wickedness and evil and idolatry to where there's no coming back. God said, I will hedge up the way so that you can't find your way back to me.
Say it again.
I don't want God to do that to me.
Say it again.
So we cannot continue in our wickedness.
Say it again.
We must take heed to our ways, to our actions, and the words that come out your mouth. Because you can sin before God just with your words. And God become angry with your voice. You all right? You sure? Don't lie to me. God will be angry with your voice.
I don't like what you said.
He said, God will be angry at your voice. Let's read.
Verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
I said, when pride cometh,
Uh-oh.
then cometh shame. Wow. But guess what? When pride comes, you don't get ashamed. This is talking about a godly people.
They got the laws down
I
pat.
said, this is talking about a godly people. But we don't know what pride is. I said, when pride comes, then comes shame. These are people that recognize that they have pride in them.
Because of my pride.
These people have recognized that they are proud.
That's your way.
And when they are able to detect that this speech, this action denotes pride. And when you realize these things, you are ashamed at who? At yourself.
So,
What brings shame? Why are you ashamed? Because I'm trying to correct myself. So I'm ashamed of my faults and my wrong and my actions and my deeds and my ways and the things that I done said out of my mouth. Guess what? To offend you.
To be offensive.
Tell you, man, we got a long way to go.
say it again, brother.
I said we got a long way to go.
Say it one more
We
time,
playing
brother.
games.
Say it one more time, brother.
Okay?
Say it one more time, brother.
The word, he said pride, the word pride is zadon. Zayin, dalet, kolam, noon. You know what that means? Presumptuous. Insolence.
Uh-oh.
You know what presumptuous means?
That's that foot.
Overstepping due
That's
boundaries.
that foot.
I said overstepping due boundaries. You know what that is? There's boundaries.
That's that foot.
I said there's boundaries. Taking liberty when you don't regard how God feels about what you are doing against his laws. Huh?
Okay.
You don't care.
Presumptuous.
You don't care.
Talk about it, brother.
You know what presumptuous is? It ain't only talking about the laws of God. You know what else it's talking about?
Your ways.
Your ways,
Your ways.
the things that you do,
Your ways.
your actions, everything that angers God, your words, all that.
Talk about it.
You know what insolence means? Insulting and contemptuous in your speech. an insulting speech, a contemptuous speech. This has to deal with your words. You know what contemptuous means? Contemptuous means disrespectful. Disregard for something that should be taken into account to.
Say it again, bro.
You know what that disregard in things that should be taken in account to. That's not only the laws of God.
Your ways.
There's other things that I have to take account to. Huh? Number one is the laws. Number one is the laws and the commandments and the ways of God.
God, that's facts.
Take account to.
That's a fact.
You know what else is? King David said, hey, don't touch the land.
Right.
Those are things you need to take account to.
That's a fact.
Huh? Let's read.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
But with the lowly is wisdom.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But with the lame, but with the lowly. You know what the lowly is? Zenuim. Zenuim, it means with the modest. You know what modest means? Wait, read that over.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom.
With the lowly is wisdom. With the modest is wisdom. You know what modest means? With the humble. With a person that has humility. Placing a moderate estimation on one's ability or worth. That's what Ezra did. The angel said, thou hast done wondrously, because you did not include yourself with the righteous. He was humble and humility. He didn't put himself above. The angel told Ezra that. Huh? Go ahead, let's read.
The integrity of the upright shall guide them.
The integrity of the upright. Huh? Integrity is what? You live in accordance in your deepest values. Integrity is a value trait found in leaders. Everybody don't have integrity. I said this trait is only found in leaders, in heads. Go ahead. Now, integrity is what? Firm adherence to a code of morals or artistic values. Huh? Values are individual beliefs that motivates you to act one way or another. Your values guides you. It's what you was raised with. Shama, I don't like how you act I don't like how you acting. Then Shama, you shouldn't act that way. Those are values that's taught, upbringing, that's taught you from your parents. That's taught from your parents. Let's read.
But the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
But the perverseness of wait, what verse is that?
End of 3. But the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
Go ahead, read.
Verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from
money
death.
can't deliver me from God. I said money can't deliver me from God. The only thing that can deliver me is wisdom. He said wisdom is a what? And money is a defense. But the excellency of wisdom is that wisdom delivers you from death. What does that mean? We all got to die. So how does wisdom deliver you from death? That's something to think about, people. Think on that. I said, think on that.
Oh, my God.
Huh? Which means when I die, people say that's it. No, that's not it for me. Maybe that's it for you. But wisdom is going to deliver me from death. Even though I must die in this life. Even though I must die in this life. Wisdom will and shall deliver me from death. Because I'm going to watch my ways. I'm going to watch the way I speak and what I say. I'm going to watch the things that I do. I'm going to watch my actions. And I have to correlate everything according to what God said with myself. That's each and every one of our job. And not get tied up in your own emotions. Get all emotional. Because when we get all emotional, guess what goes out the window? The laws of God. You know, that's the first thing go. And you move and you act in your own raunchy ways. Huh? But we think it's a game. Let's read.
Verse 5. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way.
The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his ways. Huh? I said the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his ways. The righteousness of the perfect will not be guided wrongfully. Because their righteousness is what's going to hold them up in their ways, in a whole and complete way that God accepts. Let's read.
But the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6, the righteousness of the
The
upright.
wicked shall fall in his own wickedness. You know why that's going to happen? Because number one, before you fall in your own wickedness, God send correctors. People to correct you. People to warn you and chastise you and rebuke you and tell you, don't do it. Before God touch you, he sent a rebuker. Learn the ways of God and how God deals.
That's what my father told me.
I said, before God touch you, he sent rebukers.
That's what my father told me.
He sent chastisement, reprimand, people to warn you and admonish you. Why? Because God really don't want to do you in. So I need you to go warn them. But when you don't take heed to the warning of God that God sent, guess what? Now you're getting out of hand now. Now I got to do something to you. And I hope you acknowledge. Because most of us, when we go through catastrophic incidents, we remember it for a little bit. For a little while. And then we tend to forget it. Because we slip and delve right back in our filthy ways that God hates.
That's the foot dashing. That's the foot dashing.
Let's read.
Verse 6, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness.
Read that over.
The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them,
The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them.
but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness.
Shall be taken in their own lust, in their own mischief, in their own destruction. Go ahead.
Verse 7, when a wicked man died, his expectation shall perish.
He said, when a wicked man dies, his hope shall what? Shall perish. What do you mean when a person dies, whatever his hope is his akari and what he's looking forward to.
Uh-oh. Say it again, brother.
Huh?
Say it again. Say it again.
We must, listen, in this life, God gave us laws, commandments, and statutes to correct ourselves so that we can be accepted of God.
Say it again.
And when you sacrifice yourself for the laws, commandments, and statutes of God, guess what? There's a hope. There's something to look forward to. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had something to look forward to. God said King David is going to go back on my throne. That wasn't no metaphor. So if King David going back on the throne, I want to meet King David one day. But in order to meet King David, you gotta be about this. I said you gotta be about this. If you're not about this, let's read.
And the hope of unjust men perishing. Verse 8, the righteous is delivered out of trouble.
The righteous is delivered out of trouble. You know what's the
Say
word?
it again. Say it
You know
again.
what's the word for delivered? Kalatz. The righteous withdraws from trouble.
Say it again.
You know what I mean by withdraw?
That foot
You know what withdraw? You know what I mean by withdraw means?
from sin.
When you withdraw and abstain from strife, from trouble. I'm not gonna say this because this is what's gonna cause trouble and
From sin.
problems.
Speak about it.
I'm not gonna do this over here just for the sake of trouble.
Speak on it.
Withdraw. If you are righteous, I said if we are righteous, then this is the ways or the things that righteous men do.
Speak on it.
I'm not gonna say just anything, because I know when I say I got under your strength,
Speak on
and
it.
this is gonna cause uproar. I'm not gonna do anything, because if I did it, when I did do it, well, I ain't meaning it, but I ain't violating the commandments. I ain't doing that. Okay, but the things that you did,
Not righteous.
it offended this person, and they fell away.
Speak on it.
These are the things that we need to begin to consider
Speak
to
on
be
it. That's
righteous.
the ways. That's your ways. Again,
To be righteous.
your ways.
Go ahead.
The
Consider.
righteous is delivered out of trouble,
Uh-huh.
and the wicked cometh in his stead.
Uh-huh.
A hypocrite with his mouth destroyed his neighbor.
Wait a minute. He said a hypocrite with his mouth destroyed his neighbor.
That's what they are.
You know what the hypocrite is? The Hebrew word for hypocrite is kanaf. Right? Kanaf means profane. A profane person, it means not devoted to God. To make or become common. To make or become common means you're the same like them.
Uh-oh.
You're the same just like them.
That's right.
It also means impious. No respect for God or parents.
Uh-oh.
Respect go deep, man.
Uh-huh.
I said respect for your parents go deep.
It goes far.
Very deep.
It goes beyond the grave.
It's so deep that
It goes beyond the grave.
we didn't even hit the plummet of what honor and respect for our parents is. We didn't hit the plummet of what honor and respect for our parents is.
It goes beyond the grave.
Listen, man.
It goes
Let's read.
beyond the grave.
A hypocrite with his mouth destroyed his neighbor.
Uh-oh, shakat. A hypocrite with his mouth destroyed his neighbor, ruined his neighbor. Huh? It also means social collapse. Okay?
Social collapse.
All right? Social collapse. A person with social collapse does not enjoy other people.
You're unsocial.
You're unsociable. Was our forefathers like that?
Push people away.
Was our forefathers like that?
No.
You're a prince among us, Abraham.
Kings and prophets and godly men, they didn't push the people away. Moses didn't push the people away. None of the godly men that we read about pushed the people away. So why you do it?
Bad ways.
So why you do it?
You said that what?
Bad ways.
Wait.
I said, why you do it?
Wait. Say it again, brother. Wait. See.
Let's read.
See.
But through knowledge shall the just be delivered.
But through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Through knowledge shall the just be delivered. How can the just be delivered? By knowledge. Because he knows.
Uh-oh.
He's aware.
Uh-oh.
And how he became aware? By reading and studying and God opening his eyes
Uh-oh.
to what he's reading.
Uh-oh.
So now, by God opening my eyes by what I'm reading, I know how to deal with people.
Uh-oh.
I know what to say. I know why not to act. I know how to handle this matter. I know how to handle this over here.
Your ways.
That is correct.
Let's read.
Verse 10. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth.
When it go well with the righteous, the city rejoicing because the city is being ran by a godly man. The city is being ran by a just man. And by the city being ran by godly and just men, then more people will clean. More people will gather.
More people will like Trump.
I said you'll pull more people by being just and honest and godly. Go ahead.
And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted.
By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted. Go ahead.
But it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despises his neighbor.
He that is void of wisdom despises his neighbor. Wait a minute. Despise means to hate. Wait a minute. You know what void of wisdom means? Kasar leb. Kasar means lack. Leb is a heart. He that lacks a heart hate his neighbor. So keep hating. I said keep hating. Keep despising. I say kasar leb.
You don't get my energy. You don't get my energy. I hate you. I'm gonna kill you.
Lacks a heart.
You don't get my energy.
He that lacks a heart despises his neighbor. And these are the words of a wise man that God gave wisdom to. And there will never be another wise man like King Solomon. So it behooves you to take heed to these words and apply these words to yourself so that you can become better before God. The Proverbs shows you your ways.
Before who?
Before God.
Say it again. Yeah.
Before God. And after God, before my parents.
Say it again. Say it again.
And when you're
Write it down.
prove yourself before God, then guess who else approve of you? People will approve of you.
Of course. Once you approve
That's
yourself,
why Samuel was accepted by everybody.
everything
He was favored. He found favors in the people's eyesight.
Everything falls into place,
Everything
man.
falls into place. Let's read.
Talking about.
But a man of understanding
man.
holdeth his peace.
But a man of understanding holdeth his peace.
Break it down. Break it down.
A man that departs from evil holds his
Break
peace.
it down.
You know what hold his peace is? I ain't gotta rap and rave and everything. Sometimes you gotta bite your tongue and pull back.
Tranquilo.
Why everything get to you? Why you rap and rave behind this and behind that and behind that and behind that? Sometimes you gotta tell yourself for the sake of peace.
Tranquilo.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Tranquilo.
I said for the sake of peace. Because if I answer this, it's gonna be an uproar. And you the one was violated. But for the sake of peace, I'm gonna hold my tongue. I said, what type of people do that? A man of understanding. A person that departs from evil. When a person that is departing from evil, they're going to consider
Say it again, brother.
the outcome.
Say it again, brother.
I said, a person that departs from evil considers the outcome.
Say it again, brother.
If I do this, what's going to be the effect?
Say it again,
If I say this, what's going to be the effect? And even though you're right,
Say it again, brother.
it's not the time.
Say it again, brother.
It's not the time.
Talk about it, man.
Let's read.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit,
A talebearer revealeth secrets.
Uh-oh.
Who is a talebearer? A talebearer is a slanderer, right? What is a slanderer? A slanderer, or a person that slanders, are people that defames your character.
Uh-oh. Say it again,
A
brother.
person that defames your character comes up with false oral statements about you.
Say it again, brother.
Now I'm telling you, he said this, and I know he meant it. How you know he meant
Say
it?
it again, brother. Say it
How
again.
you know that's what he meant?
Say it again.
Did you approach me? Did you say anything to me? So how do I know?
Talk about it, brother.
Sometimes we get caught up, and we move without thinking. But your intent wasn't that.
Emotional damage.
Tom Sheet.
A talebearer revealeth secrets,
Uh-huh.
but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter.
Oh, wait a minute.
Come on, man.
Say, he
Gentleness.
that is of a faithful spirit conceal the matter. Dabad. Conceal things. Matters. Conceal your words. Hide your words. It's not the time to say this. It's not the time to speak like this. Sometimes I got to hold back these certain words. Huh? Go ahead.
Where no counsel is, the people fall.
Wait a minute. Where no counsel is, where no guidance is, where no direction is, where there's no advice or good advice, it's going to fall. Because anytime there's a function, we always got to have a sit down and voice and talk certain things out. Because when you don't voice and talk certain things out, you begin to hold things. And it's whole, and you hold it, and you hold this perspective about this person, or about what the person said.
Perspectives ain't true. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not being spoken about. So it's held and it grows. And it grows. The next thing you start talking, saying things like, I don't like him.
My spirit don't take
My spirit don't take him. I don't like her. My spirit don't take her.
God don't take your spirit.
But these are things that our forefathers didn't say.
That's right.
Our forefathers didn't move like this.
Didn't think of that.
Tom Sheik.
Where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
There is safety. Tom Sheik.
He that is surety for a stranger.
He that is surety of a stranger. What is surety? When a person who takes responsibility for another's actions. I go and I speak up for you. And because the person trusts you, he takes your word. And the person, because there's no honor in that person, he violates it, which means me speaking up and my word means nothing.
Right.
There's no protocol. There's no protocol. There's no order. No, but no, God said he dealing with the people that don't hearken to the priests. That's this people. Ain't no priest around, ain't no prophet, but nobody listens to nobody.
You're right. You're right. Today,
I'm not above my preachers to where people can't say, yo, man, you shouldn't act like that. You shouldn't move like that. Because I'm a halt and say, immediately the air blow, the air, it fizzles out.
Hot air.
The air gotta fizzle out.
Yeah.
If we can't, let's read.
He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it.
Shall smart for it.
And he that hated surety is sure.
Taqwa. It don't mean surety shit. He that strike hands. Taqwa. He said, he that strike hands. To make sure. Tom Sheik.
A gracious woman retaining honor.
A gracious woman. A kind woman. A pleasant woman. A courteous woman. A woman with virtue. So you can't be kind off and on. You can't be pleasant off and on. You can't be courteous off and on. Today you're kind, and when this man says something to rub you wrong, you get wild. You ain't kind.
You just kind though.
You ain't pleasant. Kevin Samuels said, you want to find out if a woman is feminine? Say something to her that she don't like and see how she act. Kevin Samuels. And a lot of women don't like Kevin Samuels. But most of the things that he says is truth.
True.
But Bevan,
They didn't like it, but they admitted it was true.
It's true.
Bevan Samuels.
You must always retain graciousness regardless of what the situation is. Eli turned to Hannah. He said, you drunken woman. He said, put away your wine. He disrespected me. Why you talk? She said, no, my Lord. She said, count me not as a daughter of Belial. He said, don't count me for a worthless woman, which means worthless woman. Do what? And she's outside being drunk.
That's the action.
What made him ask her that? Because her lips was moving.
Lips were moving.
No words was coming out.
Right.
This was an action that was abnormal.
Right.
So he asked, he said, what's good? She said, no, I'm a woman of a sorrowful spirit.
Do
A sorrowful spirit. And she laid out a complaint. Eli said he still was high power. He still was high power. He said, God is going to grant you. He's going to grant you that, man. He's going to grant you that. And she got pregnant. She got pregnant, man, with one of the godliest prophets that you could ever think of. Prophet Samuel. And if I'm not mistaken, Prophet Samuel. That was a hell of a man. This man was connected to God from a child. You know why children at that age can connect with God? Because the parents was connected with God. Elkanah was connected with God. Hannah, who was his wife, she was connected to God. And when she got teased from his other wife, she remained in her humility. Oh, no, she's teasing me. Oh, all right, Trick, you think it's a game? Wait a minute. No. I said, read the book, and the book will show you how a woman's supposed to be. Read the book, and the book will show you how the men's supposed to be. We need to read and pattern our lifestyle after those godly men and those godly women that we read about, because those are the people that God accepts. He chose them. You making yourself unchosen by your ways and how you act.
Go again your ways.
Courteous is a character trait. It refers to displaying good manners, respect, being polite towards others. Courteous women are considerate and mindful of the needs of others and their feelings. Let's read.
Verse 10.
No. Verse 16.
A gracious woman retaining honor, and strong men retain riches.
Wait a minute. Strong men retain riches. Notice the word for strong? Aritz. A violent man. A violent man relies upon his riches. He relies upon his riches. And God speaks against. God speaks against a violent man. That's why you got to read here a little and there a little. Line upon line, precept upon precept.
Then you
And
may
hope that God show you his ways. That's why I say you hope. You may find your way. You hoping that God will show me and open your eyes to it. Because in Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 9, verse 10, it says, if he beget a son that is a robber, the word for robber is the same word for strong man. It's paritz. It means a violent or vicious man. God speaks against those type of people. You get vicious for God. Get violent for God. And that's it. That's it. And nothing wrong with being violent and vicious, but be violent and vicious for God. Let's read.
The merciful man doeth good to his own soul.
The merciful, man. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul. Remember what Paul said? The righteous considers his meat. A righteous man is going to consider his meat, which means a righteous man considers his diet. I said a righteous man will consider their diet.
I've always said that.
And it's in the book.
I've always said that.
So if you're not considering your diet, you ain't righteous.
I gotta check myself.
Gotta check yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, read.
But he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh.
Wait a minute, verse 17. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 17. He that is cruel, he that is pernicious. You know what cruel means? Cruel means willfully causing pain.
Oh, my.
I said willfully causing pain or suffering to others, feeling no concern about it. Pernicious is a person that implies irreparable harm. You know what irreparable harm is? You do something to me that cannot be repaired. Can't be fixed. That's like you come and punch me in my jaw. That can't be fixed. Are you ready to sit down so I can punch you back? See, that's when you know when we are really for God. Let me see you do something to somebody that's unwanted, that you wasn't supposed to do, and sit down and let that person do it back to you. That's when God puts certain situations before you. You're talking a lot, brother. So let me try you according to those words.
Okay.
You're yapping off your mouth, and God is hearing everything, and he's sitting there, and this guy is talking, and we sometimes talk too much and put our foot in our mouth, because when God presents the situation, you fail. I said, you fail. So you need to be quiet. Stop talking. Stop talking and check yourself. Stop talking and check yourself. We all need to check ourselves, man. And if I'm walking before God in humility, I'm shutting my mouth. I ain't got nothing to say. Why? Because I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Everything you do is right.
I said, I'm wrong in the eyes of God.
Right. Say it again.
Listen, I'm wrong. And by me, with this mindset of telling myself I'm wrong, I will always check myself and take heed to myself to make corrections to be better before my God.
Right. That's how it goes.
Let's read.
That's how it goes.
But he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh.
He that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. Oh my goodness. You know what's the word for trouble? He that is cruel trouble his flesh. Troubleth his own flesh. The word for trouble is akad. Ayin, kaf, resh. He that is cruel disturbs or confuse. You know what that is? A person that is cruel. You will confuse yourself by you being cruel. God gonna confuse you. He gonna confound you. Why? Because, yo, man, listen, man. We confuse ourselves with the things that we do, with the works of our own hands, with the things that we do that is against God. We confuse ourselves. Next thing, we start eating blood and fat, boiling our heads, lying, deceiving. Come on, man. Let's read.
The wicked worketh a deceitful work.
The wicked worketh a deceitful work. Yeah, the wicked work a deceitful work. When you do and say things deceitfully. Yeah, I said it, but it wasn't. It was for you. And I'm not going to make everybody say and think that it wasn't for you, but it was really for you. I said it for you to catch it. Those are deceitful works. You say things meant for this person, but then you lie and say, well, I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I'm hype. No, you ain't hype. You said that so he could catch it.
Right.
Don't lie to yourself, man. Won't you stop lying to yourself? You say things for the other person to hold it and catch it. But we refuse to check ourselves and acknowledge the negative things that we have within ourselves so it can't be eradicated.
Your ways.
It's not going to get removed.
What you got in you?
Tom Sheep.
The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward.
Go ahead.
As righteousness tendeth to life.
What verse is that?
19.
Proverbs 11, verse 19. Tom Sheep.
As righteousness tendeth to life, so he...
Wait a minute. As righteousness, give it life. I said righteousness, give life.
That's right.
Who said that? Why should you die, O house of Israel? Huh? Who said that? Was it Moses? Huh? Either Moses or God said it. He said, why should you die, O house of Israel? Listen, people, that wasn't no metaphor.
That was God.
Why should you die, O house of Israel? Because we do the works that brings death.
Bring that.
When we read the book,
Visit the land.
we got a problem with being told, don't do or do. Make sure you do this, don't do. We got a problem with thou shalt and thou shalt not. I got a problem with people telling me, don't do that. Do this. When you do this, this is the penalty. We got a problem with that. We cannot, we can't get to God not being able to accept chastisement. Woo! That's why, look, man, when I can accept chastisement from you, now I'm able to accept God's chastisement.
That's right.
And when you accept God's chastisement, you recognize your faults and change.
That's right.
That's when you recognize the chastisement of God. Don't tell me you accept God's chastisement and you ain't changed.
That's when change
You
comes into
still the same way.
play. That's when change comes into play, when you accept.
You must accept the chastisement of God. And when you accept the chastisement of God, you change.
That's automatic.
360.
That's automatic when you accept.
360, you must change.
That's automatic when you accept. Once you accept, it goes to go. Once you accept, you change.
Not everybody, look. See, people not changing though. There's no changes. We changed for a little bit. And then when the wounds heal, guess what happened? People delve back and go back to their filthiness.
Sure.
So did you truly accept?
That's not accepting.
Then you didn't accept.
That's not accepting.
When you accept, you must change.
That goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand. You gotta change. And when you have made your mind up to change, you just don't change. One, I gotta change everything about myself. And when you have made your mind up to change before God, you will accept rebuke. Now you will begin to accept rebuke because everything I'm not going to see. Sometimes God opens a person's eyes to show you.
Say it again, brother.
I said, sometimes God opens other people's eyes to show you.
To show me.
To show me, to show you.
Say it again, brother.
Listen, man. Listen, man. Let's read.
As righteousness tended to life, so
Righteousness give life. We live in now. And the pleasure of God is that we must die. Well, what you mean by righteousness give life? Huh? Explain that. Huh? Explain that, man. Let's read.
So he that pursueth evil, pursueth it to his own death.
Wait a minute. He that pursues evil, pursue it at his own death. You know what's the word for pursue? Radaf. Reish dalet kuf. No, kasofi. Kaf. It means he that follows after. He that runs after evil. Huh? He that runs after evil, pursue it to his own death. That's what's going to take you down. Go ahead.
They that are of a forward heart.
What is a froward heart? Explain to me what is a froward heart. Okay? A froward heart, the Hebrew word for froward is ichesh. Ichesh means perverse. Ichesh means crooked. A perverse heart, a perverse mindset. A perverse heart is driven by selfish motives. You hear that? I said a perverse heart is driven by selfish motives. Okay? You know what selfish motives is? Selfish motives are what? A person that's devoted or caring only for yourself. Concerned primarily with one's own interests, one's own benefit, regardless of others. It benefit me, and I don't care who else don't benefit. It's my interest, and I don't care if everybody else don't interest it. We are like that. I said we are like that. But we refuse to acknowledge. Therefore, we can't change. We refuse to acknowledge these things. And we can sin and break God's law just by being that way. This is why God told the people to change their ways. Because your ways stink before God. Why are we like this, man? Why are we like this? We're on a road to destruction. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you no lies because I see. And what? Oh, it said a wise man's eyes is in his head. Looking within himself. I said looking within himself. Taking heed to himself. to change his ways before God so that it can be acceptable by God. So when you're working on your ways, now the song comes up. I had to clear my throat. I could see clearly now the rain is gone. Now you're going to be able to see now.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're already on yourself, watching yourself, checking yourself, and you're on point with yourself. So now I see despicable ways. No, that shouldn't be like it's radiant. It gets more it sticks out. A person's ways sticks out more when you're on yourself. I said a person's ways sticks out more when you're on yourself. Let's read, bro.
But such as are upright in their way are his delight.
Such. Wait a minute. Wait, hold that verse there. I gotta finish. He said a perverse heart is driven by selfish motives and is inclined to resist. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me read that over. A perverse heart, a perverse mindset is driven by selfish motives, and is inclined to resist authority and is inclined to resist control. Nobody can tell me nothing. Who gonna tell me something? Ain't nobody gonna stop me. But when nobody can stop you and nobody can tell you nothing, now guess who gotta step in and stop you? God. Don't say that. I said don't say that. Because God left us here to correct each other. So when a person say, yo, chill out, man, you should learn to chill out. When a person say, yo, stop, man, that's not right. You should be able to stop. But why? The reason why you can't hearken to authority and control is because you got a perverse mindset. We tend to get nobody clapping. You ain't gotta clap. You know why? I don't say things for you to clap. I don't say things for you to clap. I say things and I teach things so that we can correct and see ourselves. See who you are. The book reveals who you are if you're truthful with yourself.
True.
I said, if you're truthful with yourself, this is a medicine. I said, this is a medicine. Huh? Let's read it. Wait, hold up. I ain't even finished yet. A perverse mind is driven by selfish motives and is inclined to resist authority, unwilling to accept orders or advice. Yo, man, you shouldn't do that, man. That's not nice. That's not godly, man. It's not righteous. But because you said nobody could tell you nothing, good, you ain't gonna hearken to good advice neither. You're gonna continue to move in an emotional state and violate the commandments of God. Let's read.
But such as are upright in their way are his delight.
What verse was that?
That was 20.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 20. But what? But such
as are upright
of an upright
in their way.
Wait a minute. You know what's the word for upright in the Hebrew? The word for upright is tamim.
Such as the word.
Tamim means whole and complete. So read that over now.
But such as are upright in their way.
But such as are whole and complete in the way are God's delight. That's what God delights in. When you're whole and complete in your own ways.
Your ways are complete.
Woo! You know what whole and complete in your own ways is? When you're whole and complete in your own ways, you don't have no dirty ways. There's no dirty ways in me. I don't say things to offend people. My actions don't offend people. I'm always considering others. Huh? Huh? I consider my surroundings. And by me considering my surroundings, I know not to say certain things. I know not to do certain things because it may offend this person or that person. This is what people that is considerate. That you just don't burst out words and just say things and do things, not considering how people feel. Let's read.
Though hand joined in hand,
Though hand join in hand.
the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He said, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. You know what unpunished means? The word unpunished is nakwa. Noon, kuf, hey. You know what that means? Nakwa means to be free from guilt or punishment. To be free from guilt is when you do things and say things that is not right and you don't feel bad about it. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. You ain't guilty. You don't feel guilt for what you said. You don't feel no guilt for what you done did. That's the wicked. Oh, my gosh. I said the book just revealed who you are. Anytime you can say things to offend people and you don't feel bad about it, you're wicked. Anytime you can do things to people and that offend people and you don't feel bad about it, you're wicked. I said the book reveals you and show you who you are. What's wrong with us? Hear, O Israel, Shema Israel, El Shaddai Lehenu, El Shaddai Echad. Shema Israel, El Shaddai Lehenu, El Shaddai Echad. Ve'ahavta et. Let's read.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
Who? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, miss. Wait, Solomon talking his talk. He talking that talk. Huh? I said, King Solomon talking that talk. He said, what?
But
the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. You know what's the word for delivered? The Hebrew word for delivered is, I think it's nimlat. It means to escape. Oh, wait a minute. What they escaping? Wait. What are they escaping? He said, but the seed of the righteous shall escape. But what are they escaping? Did we ever think about that? Because we think when we die, that's it. Ain't nothing else happening. By reading this, I must train myself to believe. And by me believing this, it would trigger actions. Let's read.
Verse 22. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion.
Can you imagine a pig? Can you imagine a pig with jury in their nose? No, that don't look good. So Solomon compared that. So is a fair woman, a beautiful woman, which is without discretion. You know what discretion is, right? A beautiful woman, but she don't have no discretion about herself. No shame. She ain't discreet. You know what discreet means? You say any and anything. I do and do it. Say I just act anyhow, do anything. There's no discretion with you. No discretion with you. Yeah, you're beautiful, but you ain't got no discretion. Yeah, you're pretty, but you ain't got no discretion.
It was good to be discreet.
Yeah, you a baddie. She bad. Shorty bad. But she ain't got no discretion.
That's a good way.
Let's read.
The desire of the righteous is only good.
The desire of the righteous is only good. Again, the book is showing you the ways and the character of a righteous man. The righteous only desires good. So when you see yourself desiring anything else other than good, you ain't righteous. You ain't righteous.
I hope this happens.
What?
I hope this happens.
You ain't righteous. Let's read.
But the expectation of the wicked is wrath.
But the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Go ahead.
There is that scattereth and yet increaseth. And there is that
scattereth and yet increase it. There is that disperse and the increase. You know what it means? He's liberal. He got it. So if he got it and he see people in need, the only he come and see where it's needed and give. Don't wait for him to come to you. Why you waiting for him to humble himself? You want him to ask? You see I'm in need, but you want me to ask. He said, but these type of people that's liberal and they give, they increase what they got because you give. Tom, see?
And there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but intended to poverty.
Withhold it, restrained, hold back more than is meat. Right? But it tended to poverty. You end up poor. You end up with nothing.
Holding everything.
Because you're holding everything. Tom, see?
The liberal soul shall be made fat.
The liberal soul shall be made fat.
And he that watereth
the liberal soul shall be prosperous. The liberal soul is one that's always giving. He look to see where it's needed and give.
Very selfless.
Selfless. I like to help people. And when I see people in need, I want to help you and give. I want to help you and give. And best to believe I'm not looking for nothing back. I don't want nothing back. I just want to be able to help you and give. Go ahead, read.
And he that watereth shall be watered also himself.
You give water, and you done quenched my thirst. Guess what? I'm gonna be watering myself. Tom, see?
He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him.
The people gonna curse him because you hold him back. Go ahead.
But blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it.
Let's go.
He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor.
He that what?
He that diligently seeketh good.
He that diligently seeketh good. Inquire to seek. Diligently seek good in all matters. When let me explain how you seek good. How you diligently seek good. You watch your actions, you watch your ways, and you watch your behavior, you watch what you say. Because your ways, your behavior, and things that you say, you can offend people. You ain't seeking good. Right? Diligently seeking good.
Procureth favor.
Procure favor. Procure it, bakwash, means to seek or inquire favor.
Guaranteed.
Okay? You guaranteed that. But he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. Mischief and trouble is going to follow you. Because I'm always in mischief. I'm always seeking mischief. I'm always in something. Why nobody like me? Why every time I come around, nobody likes me? Maybe it could be you. Maybe you the one. Have you ever thought about that person? Shabbat? Maybe you're the problem. But everybody don't like me. You're the problem. It's not always they the problem. You could be the problem. Go ahead, read.
He that trusted in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind.
He that troubleth his own house. You mean to tell me that a Lord of the house, he can trouble his own house? And what you said, you're going to inherit the wind. So when you trouble your own house, you expecting something back, you ain't going to get nothing. You're going to get nothing back but air. You know why? Because we feel, because I'm the Lord, I'm the head, and I can move and act how I want to act in my own house. That's not godly. That's not godly. God speaks about the lion in his own house. There's no reason for you to be a lion in your own house. This is yours. And everybody knows this belongs to you. So I ain't got to be that way. Let's read.
And the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart.
The fool shall be a servant to the wise of will. What verse is that?
29.
29.
He that troubleth his own house.
And the fool shall be a servant to the wise of heart. Go ahead, read.
The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life.
Wait a minute. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. You know what the fruit? You know what they mean by the fruit? Huh? The effects of consequences of your own actions. Huh?
The results.
The results. Go ahead.
And he that winneth souls is wise.
He that captures souls is wise. You know what I mean? You know what they mean by capturing a soul? How can I capture your soul? Not by being nasty and cruel. I gotta know how to talk, what to say, what not to say. It all goes back to treatment.
That's what brings you in.
It all goes back to treatment. Let's read.
Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth. Much more of the wicked and the sinner.
Oh, wait a minute. He said, behold, the righteous shall be a recompense in the earth. The word for recompense is shalom. There goes that word again. The righteous shall be whole, shall be complete, shall be sound in the earth. A sound person is a person with good character, firm and trustworthy. Go ahead. Much more the wicked and the sinner. And with that, I hope I got what was bought. And I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Do anybody have any questions? We're going to be starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. If we don't have any questions, then I'm going to close out. Say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Take heed to your ways. And make sure your ways are comparable to the ways of God.